Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Bidaya Screencast. Today we are discussing Lesson 8, which is Tanween al-Dhamm. The objective of today's lesson is for the student to identify the shape and location of Tanween al-Dhamm. It goes on top of the letter, and it resembles two small waws on top of the letter. As usual, the opening of each lesson is all of the letters displaying the vowel of interest. In this case we have Tanween Dhamm. And the student should go through each letter, pronouncing it with Tanween Dhamm. This will serve as a review of the letters as well as learning the new concept of Tanween. And the next part of this page, we have the boxes used by the instructor for explanation. You can see the same technique we've been using. We introduce Tanween with a certain letter, for example Ra, and then we use it in the first word, and so forth with Mim in the second word. In this way the student is somewhat familiar, and it's a less abrupt shift from learning the new concept to putting it into practice. Tanween Dhamm is represented with two upward hand motions. Again, we want the student, the most important takeaway is that the Dhamma and Tanween Dhamm are two related concepts. We don't want students to think of them as two separate things. Tanween Dhamm is merely two dhammas put together with an added sound of noon at the end. For example, Ra dhamma ru, Ra dhammatain run. Same idea as we did with Tanween Kasr and Tanween Fath, inshallah. And also we want to remind that the student should be reading the words and pairing letters two at a time, inshallah. So, for example, nafa run. And the technique we use for the first line of this lesson, as we did previously, is the instructor reads the first two letters of these words, these three-letter words. For example, the instructor says nafa, and he waits for the class or the student to say run. Qasa, and he waits mun. Humu, run. We want to instill the main focus of the lesson in the students without them trying to recall multiple concepts at once. At least for the first line we use this technique so we can absolutely focus on the vowel of interest, inshallah. And don't forget to refer to the bottom for the objectives of this lesson while teaching, inshallah. And another reminder that each line of this lesson integrates a different concept. For example, in the first line we have similar harakat in the words and only three-letter words, while once we reach the fifth line we are using four-letter words and using multiple harakat and different forms of the letters. For example, we have a different type of ta, and we're introducing different letters. As always, please refer to Bidaya's website and the workbook, which will contain much more practice and words for listening to the audio files as well as practicing writing and identifying. Each lesson comes with its own flashcards as well, and the teacher can use the instructor's manual for more detailed instructions. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.